Good morning, I'm Gerhard Mathangani with today's Sports Brief. Former Alabama offensive coordinator Steve Sarkisian has been formally introduced as the new head football coach at Texas. Sarkisian led the Alabama offense for the last 2 years and enjoyed an unbelievable season this year. The Tide offense broke several school records on the way to the national championship. Under Sark, Alabama posted 48.5 points per game. That unit also averaged over 540 yards per game and 14.5 yards per catch. He will now look to turn around the Longhorns program.
You know, the energy and excitement for our program right now, I think is one that is directly effective to what's happening in recruiting. From the moment I got hired up until last night after the game and getting a commitment to the program already from an in-state player, I mean, that just tells you about, I think, where the excitement of Longhorn football is right now. And ultimately, our goal is to build a brand of football that everybody's proud of, that people can turn on games on TV, that come to DKR Memorial Stadium and say, that's my football team. And that's something I'm proud of. And I'm proud of the way they play, that they do things the right way, that they have a really good time doing it, that they're enjoying what they're getting to do, and ultimately competing for championships.
According to reports, former Houston Texans head coach Bill O'Brien is expected to replace Sark as the Tide's OC. O'Brien has spent time in both the NFL and the collegiate levels. He won the Bear Bryant National Coach of the Year award as the head coach at Penn State. He also has stops at Duke, Maryland, and Georgia Tech in college, as well as the New England Patriots in the NFL. Meanwhile, the Alabama basketball team is abuzz as the Tide took over first place in the SEC with an 85-65 win at Kentucky. Alabama's riding a 6-game winning streak. They're now a perfect 5-0 in league play. Head coach Nate Oates knows it's big to score a great victory in Rupp Arena.
You know, obviously it helps when you make threes, so it's great when you got shooters like Petty and Check, and our bigs can make shots, and you know, Primo played well, so you go right on down the list. But big win for our program. You know, looking at the schedule to start the year, you know, I thought our first 6 games were probably the toughest 6 games in the league. If we could be 5-0 headed into the home game against Arkansas, I certainly would have taken it. So proud of our guys, big win for us.
And finally, the Super All-State team has been released by the Alabama Sports Writers Association. The team is made up of the top 12 players, regardless of classification or position. Here's a look at the offense headed up by Thompson quarterback Connor Harrell. Also, fellow state champions Peyton Higgins of Mars Hill and Javante Graves Billups of St. Paul's, who has signed at Army, lead the offense. The defense is led by the #1 ranked player in the state, Kool-Aid McKinstry of Pinson Valley. Fellow Alabama signee Devontae Lawson leads a trio of linebackers that includes Jeremiah Williams, who's headed to Florida, and Jeremiah Alexander of Thompson. Auburn signee Lee Hunter of Blunt is also on the list. The association will name its Mr. Football winner, which will come from this list, coming up on Saturday night. And that wraps up your sports brief. Our program continues next.